giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Good morning. Good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by the Cochran Firm and Boston Scientific. We streaming live on YouTube, Facebook. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! We 2 days away, baby. We 2 days away. We talking X Factors in this heated matchup. But I'm going to just let Jayron give us that feel for this week. Go ahead.
You know they can't with you. You know they can't with you. Run, hit, talk. Yes, sir. Run, hit, talk. Yeah, right. It ain't nothing else to be said. Run, hit, and talk. Yeah.
It ain't nothing else to be said. I don't really have nothing else to say, but we're going to talk about it, man. I got 3 X Factors. Jayron Kearse is definitely involved in the X Factors today, as y'all can see on the thumbnail. But I'm hyped. I'm trying to compose myself because I have to put on a show for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I have to do what I got to do, but I am, man, I'm just ready. I'm done. I'm done with the talking. I done listened to them talk. I done heard what Jayron Kearse said. DeMarcus Lawrence I'm ready for this game, Cowboys Nation. Run, hit, talk. What's up with y'all, though, man? But before where my manners at, man?
Bomb Squad!
What's good, man? What's good? How y'all doing? We got Trey, John, 6081 boys. Lee, my bro Lee in the building. What's good, man? Sam, Alpha Mason, Hallelujah, Chris Danzler, Danny Savage. We got D Overton in the building. Lemitra, 0101, Ham Zone, what up? Alpha Mason, KB, 2 times. TV, Lord Nova, what's up? Aaron, 6 to midnight. Don, Andre, y'all deep in here. Y'all are deep early in it. Y'all ready to talk some Cowboys Eagles, right? I got you. And yeah, I see some score predictions already in the chat. Y'all can call through or call in later if y'all want and give me those predictions. Y'all know me. I can't give y'all my predictions until Sunday, but you know where I'm leaning towards, right? But we'll do all that on Sunday with my guy Jesse Holly on the Game Day Live. So y'all stay tuned for that. Got 3 X Factors. We're going to jump back. Not really in the film room, but I got some film for the 1 X Factor. Actually, both X Factor, 2 X Factors of the 3. We'll be looking at some film. And I think if we do these things and do them right, I think come away with the dub, man. I think you can come away with the dub. King Element's driving. King Element, don't be watching this show. Just listen. Put the phone down, turn it around, and just listen. We don't want no problems. No problems. We don't want no problems, King Element. We don't. But if y'all want to call in, you can. 351-999-3787. Let's get into this roundup because I'm ready to talk some ball.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Hey, yo. We got some breaking news that dropped yesterday, huh? Relax. But Dak is getting closer, y'all. He's getting closer. Dak was upgraded to limited yesterday. What? McCarthy I was listening to it this morning. By the way, somebody hit me up on Twitter, was like, hey, Scott, they were talking about your tweet on 105 through the fan. I went on there to listen. Man, that thing took a left turn like crazy. But it was funny nonetheless. Shout out to Shannon RJ. But McCarthy I ended up catching a McCarthy interview, and he was talking about Dak. And they asked him, hey, man, how's he doing? He said the last 2 days, he hit the target. As far as with the rehab and throwing, we're on schedule. He's getting better. But today is supposed to be a recovery day. We'll see. But today is supposed to be a recovery day because he did a little bit more yesterday than they anticipated. And I think that little bit more was him coming out to practice. I don't know if he was supposed to. Who knows? But he says he bounced out of the rehab and actually, frankly, just took a couple reps in individual drills, which put him into the limited category. So I wonder if he was catching some shotgun snaps, some under center snaps, what have you. But when that happens, you have to put him on the injury report as limited. You can't just say, he was in rehab, or you can be subject to fines and all that type of stuff. So I anticipate him returning next week. Some are saying send him out to the bye week. It seems like he could be healthy next week, man. And if that's the case, let's do this thing. Like, why are we playing around? But this is good news. Great news. Might be seeing Dak at home next week. And oh my goodness. I might hit up A to Z like, hey, listen, man. I'm going to the game. I know that crowd's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. But until then, our guy Cooper Rush, Vach calls him the Super Cooper, the Cooper Supers or Super Coopers. Hilarious, but it's funny. In the meantime, we got to roll with Cooper Rush heading into Philly, man. And we'll talk about him and the X Factors as well later on. So stick around for that. They asked Cooper about the relationship with him and Dak Prescott. And this is what Cooper Rush had to say. I've said this before. He's helped me out tremendously with our room, myself, everyone else on the sidelines. He's bringing the energy. That's just who he is as a person or a leader. He obviously wants to play. And when he's ready, he will. For weeks now, I've been saying the same thing to you guys, that the noise on the outside is not what's happening on the inside of that building. For whatever reason, and I get it, it's captivating TV. This is the new era, new wave of media. But in that locker room, this feeling right now is amazing. And they're all together. They're all locked in this thing together. And a lot of people want to compare it to 2016. It's just not the case. If we want to be frank about 2016, man, there was a collective movement of people like, hey, Tony, we appreciate you, man, but we with this guy. We with this kid over here, man. And it was guys that was with Tony for years. So this ain't nothing like that, number one. Number two, we found out later on that Mark Sanchez was the guy that was really with Dak in his rookie year. Not saying Tony didn't help, but we found out it wasn't Tony that was eager to be that dude. We're not seeing that. I don't want to call it divide. I hate to use that term divide, but we're not seeing that. We're seeing Dak all in with Coop. We see it on the sounds of the sideline. We hear it from Coop. We hear it from these players. These guys are locked in, man. And there's going to be fans, there's going to be media that try to divide this situation, but there's nothing divisive about it. I keep saying it. This is great. Because there's an excitement and there's an energy brewing in that building, whether it be with the players or the front office, that, man, if we continue to just keep holding this thing down, when our leader returns, we know we can reach another level. We've been at this level before. And this is a different type of team than we've ever had. Even Stephen Jones is talking about. Stephen said, I don't expect our defense to level out. I think our defense will keep getting better, but I think our offense, when we get Dak back, you hope that it gets better. And that's no way a negative against Cooper. He's done a hell of a job with this team. We just like to think if you get back one of the best players, things are going to get better. It sounds like it's a locked-in organization to me right now. They understand who they are. Dare I say identity? We'll see. But they understand who they are. And I love the fact that I mean, this could be a McCarthy thing. But McCarthy has honed in the glitchiness of Kellen Moore. And I think it's having a trickle-down effect to the quarterback and to the rest of the squad. So, we just need our guy Coop to go out there and get it done. Maybe one or two more times, depending on when my man gets back. We'll see. And then once that happens, there is another level that this team can reach. I don't even think the biggest detractors or haters, whatever you want to call it, of Dak cannot admit that. Period. And then finally, I saw a stat yesterday on Twitter, I think from my guy Michael Kelvin. This is crazy, man. Cowboys have allowed fewer than 350 yards, recorded multiple sacks, and not allowed multiple touchdowns in every single game this season. They are the first NFL defense to achieve this trifecta since sacks became an official statistic in 1982.
Yeah. You know they can't with you. Run, hit, talk. Yes, sir. Run, hit, talk. Yeah, right. It ain't nothing else to be said. Run, hit, and talk. Yeah.
Man. That's crazy. The only team since 1982 to hold teams under 350, record multiple sacks, and not allow more than one touchdown in the first 5 weeks.
You know they can't.
My bad.
You know they can't.
My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm just saying. Y'all under the assumption that I'm going to leave it at that. But shout out to the Cowboys defense. They are playing at a ridiculous rate. And the tweet that I was talking about yesterday is what went on 105 through the fan today, was about how I think the offense has to relieve a little bit of pressure from this defense. Like, I'm with Stephen Jones here. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't think this defense is going to let up per se, right? Like, I don't think they're going to just start giving up 28, 30 points per game. They may go through a position where a team might score 23 or something like that. Or a team might score twice or whatever. So I think the offense has to relieve some of that pressure. But until then, and on Sunday, I think you're going to need this defense to level. It's crazy. How can you level up more? But nonetheless, I think they're probably going to have to. I think this is going to be. And I'm trying to give so much respect to the Eagles because they are 5-0, whatever. Offense and all that good stuff. But I feel like we've seen better skill positions and better quarterbacks, better receivers, whatever. But this is a challenge, right? Because they do things that can challenge this defense. And one of those things is the fact that Jalen Hurts can move. And not just move, run. So as we get into our X factors, I got to talk about what I think is the most important X factor in this game. And that's Donovan Wilson, y'all. Let's do it. For a number of different reasons, I think Donovan Wilson is extremely important in this game. I mean, Dono just playing the way he's played in general, I'm cool. But we know that he likes to run, meaning he hasn't hurt. He leads the NFL in rushing attempts. And I'm sorry, that should say for quarterbacks before people say, oh, what? He leads the NFL in rushing attempts for quarterbacks. He also leads the NFL in scrambles, meaning undesigned rushing attempts. And we've been here before with a quarterback that likes to scramble. Now, when the Cowboys played Daniel Jones, he had, I think, like 3 design rushing attempts. But for the most part, a lot of his stuff came on scrambles. And so I went back and said, okay, let's see how we adjusted to that. I kind of watched the beginning of that game and saw, okay, what was Donovan Wilson doing in that game? It wasn't really spying yet. It wasn't until Daniel Jones started hurting him with his legs, keeping drives alive, where DQ, who adapts, who adapts, started putting Donovan Wilson in the spy position. And the way he did it is what stood out to me. It wasn't just that Donovan Wilson was playing spy technique from the middle of the field, right? Or playing spy technique at the line of scrimmage. No. They were disguising the spy. I remember it was a Harriet the spy, Dino the spy. There were times they did traditional spy technique, put him in the middle of the field and let's roll. There were times where they had him down as a linebacker, so it looked like he was playing the run, but he was really spying Daniel Jones. There was times where it looked like cover 2. And then Donovan Wilson at the snap would rotate down and somebody would rotate back. Dan Quinn, man, is just in his bag. This may not seem like a cool thing to you, but I think it's a cool thing to me. This looks like cover 2. I'm reading it. And then Dono comes down. Not that he looked over that way anyway, but I feel like, and I wonder if the disguise, the Donovan disguise of the spy, or whatever you want to call it, I wonder if that'll trip up Jalen Hurts a little bit. He's still a quarterback, a young quarterback, trying to figure out the NFL and learning to read defenses and things like that. He's still a quarterback who loves to go to his first read and will stick with it through thick and thin. At least he did last week. So I think disguising it again this week could pay big dividends. And we've been talking about it all week about Donovan Wilson, the spy. I think he's a perfect spy for 2 reasons. One, he has the athleticism to get home. Does he become a bit of a kamikaze a little bit and he might miss a tackle? Yes, this is true. But boy, if he hits you, Jalen Hurts is going to feel it, man. Jalen Hurts is going to feel it. So I think it's going to be important to get Donovan Wilson in a groove from that spy technique. So maybe you don't wait until the third quarter, because when I went back and I charted it, it really wasn't until about a little bit more than halfway through, or a little bit more than halfway through the third quarter, where Dono was kind of in that true spy position. I highly doubt that they're going to wait that long to do it for Jalen Hurts. And once you get, now that you have back Jayron Kearse, because I don't think Jayron didn't play in that Giants game. Not saying that McQuamu and Bell couldn't hold it down a little bit. Jayron's a different animal, a whole different animal. And one thing that I've seen with Dan Quinn is that Dan Quinn is using these chess pieces and building things out of it. You know, you have packages for offense. You got a Turpin or a TP or things like that. There's clearly, Dan Quinn has a lot of packages or a lot of designs to take advantage of the versatility on defense, man. And now that Jayron's back in the equation and Dono can do some more spy things, I feel good about a Jayron against one of these tight ends, you know, than Bell if you had to do it. So just stick around. We'll get to our next one. So Donovan Wilson, the spy, is my first X factor, maybe one of the most important ones defensively. What y'all talking about in here? King said he might call in. Oh, I haven't heard King call in just yet. Who's this Vonnie cat? Oh, okay. I'm rooting for. Yeah. You got me. You had me in the first half, Vonnie, because he said I'm rooting for the Eagles to lose. You got me. King said, I'm hoping Dak walk out the bus and we just hear Jim Ross going off. By God, it's Dak. With the Stone Cold music, right? Y'all think he could? I know we backtracking. I don't know if you had anything to say about Dono the Spy. Toxic, you got the Harriet the Spy reference? Am I the only one? They need to run that back. Oh, hold tight, bro. Hold tight. So I don't got the callers muted, and the caller comes in, right, and all I hear is, "Hey yo." So y'all know who it is. So we'll hit the horns right quick, man. Pulse of the Nation phone lines presented by the Cochran Firm, man. If you get into any automobile accidents down here in Dallas because y'all can't drive down here, and yes, this is a knock to y'all. I don't know what it is about these Dallas drivers. I'm telling y'all right now, hit up Larry, hit up Brian. They are the guys to go to. That is the firm to go to. They'll help you out with any questions. They'll help you out if you become part of their clientele. And if you do that, they only handle their cases, their civil cases, on a contingent fee basis, meaning if there is no financial recovery, then they charge no fee. So contact 1-800-THE-FIRM or schedule your free consultation today at CochranTexas.com. Hey, yo. What's good, Danny?
Good morning, Sky. Good morning. I'm trying to call in before the coffee hits, and I get a little excited. Listen, I'm just tired and sick of these Philly fans. Like,
always.
When did Philadelphia become the monsters of the Midway? I mean, didn't we drop basketball points on them last year?
Facts.
Didn't we put like triple digits?
College basketball
points. So
you're
trying to tell me like they think they got better, 100 points better than last year?
I think we're seeing they did.
Jalen Hurts. They acting like Jalen Hurts is the next Randall Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
Trevon Diggs stole his girl with Bama. That's why he transferred. You know what I'm trying to say? Please, Trevon owns him. And then you got the linebacker. The lineman. His name begins with an M that nobody can pronounce. Even I can't pronounce him. You know, Mike is gonna call him bitch at the end of the night. That's the end of the game. That's how we're going to pronounce mulatto, whatever the hell it is. Mulatto, culata.
Oh, Jordan Malayada.
He's going to be pronounced Micah's bitch. I heard during the week they were talking about the special sauce. The special sauce is called Micah because when the quarterback goes under the center and he has to look first all over the field where number 11 is, that's the problem. When Mike is getting triple teamed, that opens up sacks for everybody. Listen, part of me hopes we rest Dak for 4 weeks more. Part of me just hopes they suit him up just to play mind games. You know what I'm trying to say? But then I think he'd have to be a backup if they did that. Yeah. You know? So, listen, like I said, I'm just sick of these Philadelphia fans. Bro, they beat nobody. Let's be honest. The Giants are the worst 4-1 team in the history of the NFL. They will finish with a top 12 draft pick. IMG could beat the Giants right now. That's the high school in Florida that could beat college teams. Division III college teams, excuse me. So I just wanted to get in before the espresso kicks in real quick. And like I said, you're doing a great job. You and Vach. Love your content.
Thank you, Dan.
Like I said, don't say thank you. I'm showing love, man. You know, I hate that when people say, like when I
appreciate
give props
you,
and stuff like that. I hate that. I hate.
What about that one? What about that one?
Better. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I'm giving love. Let's get more people in this bomb squad to participate.
Yeah.
Call up. You know what I'm trying to say? I want to hear some new voices. We got the older gentleman. I don't know his name. I apologize. He's always he's very religious. I like hearing him.
Yeah, my Reading
Marv
brother.
You know what I'm trying to say? We got Marv, Marvelous Marv. I love hearing him. You know what I'm saying?
It's Magic City Marv.
Get some Magic City Marv. There you go. You know, so listen, everyone's talking about, before I bounce, for predictions. How about predictions on the body bags? How many people how many Philadelphia Eagles are going to get knocked out of the game? Yo, Stafford looked like Apollo Creed when Drago killed him Sunday night when he was laying on the ground. That's going to be Jalen Hurts. You want to beat Jalen Hurts? Just blitz his ass because he cannot pass on the run. In and out, NWO for life. You guys on later on at 306 or no?
No, sir. No, sir. Not today, brother. Monday, though.
Okay. All right. Monday. Well, I'm sure Sunday night the phones are going to be lit. Everyone's going to be going crazy. And I think Monday is going to be like a 3-day weekend because Philly fans, there's going to be a lot of domestics in Philly Sunday night. They're all going to beat up their wives when Philly gets beat by backup quarterback.
Get off the
I'm
phone.
out. I'm out tonight.
Get out of here, Daddy. Appreciate you, Daddy. Oh, Daddy came in with the smoke today. He woke up feeling violent. Y'all wild, man. Real quick, let me get to these super chats because the phones done picked up. See, appreciate you, Danny. You don't woke everybody up.
Super chat.
Crazy. Marcus said, if Dak pulls a Willis Reed, I'm screaming. Yo, I tweeted out we definitely should play Here I Go if he comes back next week. But if he, it ain't happening. But if it does happen, I'm with you, man.
Super chat.
Sully said, I'd rather have a spy close to the line to limit the long distance / change of direction from Hurts. You'll get that. But the last thing you want to do is be very, have your spy easy to read every time, right? Or defense, really. You don't want your defense to be read all the time. But if you go back and look at some of those, some of the spy techniques they were using with Donovan Wilson, he was at the line of scrimmage. And I wrote down in my notes about that. You would see Dono sometimes having dual responsibility, which I thought was really cool. Like he would have his responsibility in the zone, and he would also he had his eye on the quarterback. But if a guy ran into his zone, he picked them up. And I think you'll see something like that. Now, I don't know if they're going to use Miles Sanders in that fashion, and usually it was Saquon Barkley coming out. But you'll see that. But I think having Dono disguise his spy, especially against a quarterback who's still trying to get it together up there, I love that. I love the thought process of that, because if I know that, okay, this is the spy, he's in a dead smack in the middle of the field, 3 yards behind line of scrimmage, I got single high safety back here, A.J. Brown, that's easy. That's too easy to read down in, down out, where if I'm like, okay, this could be a spy, this could be cover 2, the ball snap, if I feel it's cover 2, I'm coming off A.J. Brown and I'm coming back down here. But when I come back down here, maybe I got a double team. Maybe I got a zone concept. And by the time I try to get back here, Micah's home or the spy's home. So I think they should definitely play around with that thing. Speaking of my good brother from Reading, let's get to him before we get to our X Factor number 2. What's up, man?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, and God bless you in the show like always, Will. I just want to say a couple of things. I believe that everybody's hyping Jalen Hurts as this, new great quarterback.
Yeah.
He's good, but if you look at his statistics, it's just like Cooper Rush. Because he only got 4 touchdowns, and none of them has come through the air. So basically, if we can stop the run, and like I was saying, if the defense could play in the gaps and don't ever pursue Jalen Hurts, I really think that we can shut them down. And if the receivers on our side can make plays like they should, I think we're good. But that's all I got for today. And God bless you and the family like always, and keep up the good work. You know that.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always, my thing about this game from a defensive standpoint is corralling the run and corralling Jalen, because he's a part of the run. I mean, I was actually surprised when I went and looked that he's leading all quarterbacks in rushes. I thought that would have been Lamar Jackson. Not really Josh Allen. Josh will run, don't get me wrong, but he's developed more into a passer. But Jalen Hurts, 66 rush attempts, leads the NFL for quarterbacks. 13 scrambles, leads the NFL for quarterbacks. All right, let's get to number 2 here on our X Factor list. And it's Jayron. Again, pretty cut and dry. Not trying to hide anything here. Jayron Kearse, Donovan Wilson, I think are going to be key this week for a multitude of different reasons. Here you see I have Kearse versus Goddard. Will this be the matchup every single time? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But we do got the three-headed monster back, and you can do a lot of things with that three-headed monster. But the reason why I have Kearse versus Goddard is because Goddard is a major focal point in their offense. Major. maybe, honestly, you got, the George Kittles, the Kelseys, and then I think Goddard might be the most, I'd use the word used, but important tight end for the rest of the league. In regards to, after those big three, not saying he's the third best, but he's the third most important, if that makes sense. Goddard has 60 or more yards in every game except one. And in the one game he didn't, he scored their only touchdown. So, and he gets high targets. He's getting the ball thrown to him, whether it be screens, whether it be quick dump offs, whether it be down the field, whatever. Dallas Goedert is a very, very important part of their offense, and they'll get the ball in his hands in all kinds of ways. I've been saying it all week to y'all. The way he sells the block and he slips into the flat or he gets to the screen or a quick game, I think is phenomenal. I think it's one of the best in the league at doing that. But on the opposite side, the Cowboys have been fantastic against tight ends this year. For the most part, without Jayron Kearse. Teams are only averaging 5.5 yards per reception against the Cowboys. When tight ends I'm talking about. And again, a lot of that is without Jayron, but now he's back, and I would imagine that's going to continue. Now, this will be a bigger test, and Goddard has had some success against Dallas in the past, but I think Kearse matched up with him. I love that matchup. I love it. Now, it's just going to be a matter of, do they get picks going? Do they try to get screens going? Do they get misdirection and all that stuff to get him open? But from a mano-a-mano, I love the matchup. But another reason why J-Rock is going to be a major X factor in this game is not just covering Dallas Goedert, but tackling at that second or third level if he's playing the back end. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, they can make you miss. They can be tough to take down. And in regards to Miles Sanders, if he gets to the second level, if you don't tackle him, he can get a nice big play. He's third in the league in 10-plus yard rushes so far. And Jayron Kearse is one of the best tacklers in the league over the last 2-3 years. So getting him back has been great. I think last week was a great game to kind of get his feet back wet because the Rams weren't going to run a lot. So he's getting out there running around. He doesn't have a brace on anymore. He's feeling like himself. So it's going to be important to wrap up against a Miles Sanders. Again, I don't think Miles is this amazing back, but if it's blocked up for him and he gets through the line, gets to the second level, he can make you miss a little bit. So wrap it up is going to be important. So that's why Jayron is a major X factor, taking away one of their most important weapons, and also his tackling prowess. Going to need him. All right, let's get back to the phone lines before we get to number 3. We got, I always forget, 912, what it do? Mr. Unpopular Opinion, that's what it was.
What up, Sky? Hey, I just want to say, I think the X factor to this game is going to be those boys right up front, the defensive tackles. The Eagles run a lot of RPOs, but more specifically, they run a lot of inside zone reads, which means they're going to be sending Miles Sanders right up the gut and flushing Jalen Hurts to the outside. If the main way to stop that is to prevent Miles Sanders from being able to run up the gut. So the Bohannas, you
get him back.
Yeah, exactly. I think they brought him back particularly for this game.
Same.
They have to stop Sanders from running up the gut, because then that's what's going to force Jalen Hurts to become a pocket passer, preventing Sanders from running up the gut. I think a lot of people overlook that. If they run an inside zone read and Sanders is able to get 5-6 yards up the gut, then now they have to condense
we in trouble.
And now that gives Hurts space to run to the outside because everyone is condensing in to stop Sanders running up the gut on those inside zone reads.
Absolutely, man.
So it's going to be the defensive tackles to keep him from running up the gut, because if they stop him running up the gut, now he has to go through his progressions, and we all know he sucks at that.
Right. Yeah, man. Go.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say these defensive tackles, to me, I think have been, and I know we got the Dorrance Armstrongs, the D-Laws, and those guys have been fantastic from a defensive end standpoint. But from a down in, down out basis, I think they've been the most disruptive from week 1 to week we're going down 5. I think, in my opinion, I feel good about these zone reads or read option type of teams because they're just violent and they're getting upfield. And now that we got Bohanna back, I've watched Bohanna literally destroy a play without making a tackle because that guy can't cut back. So you're absolutely right. If we can get these defensive tackles to continue that or take it up another notch, I don't know that Miles Sanders is going to have a lot of room to maneuver before he gets past the line of scrimmage, and that's what we want.
Right. All right. And in closing, this is what I got to say to the entire Philly Nation, or whatever they call them. In the spirit of the rest in peace DMX, bring it what we ride here. How about the Cowboys? Let's go.
Anyway. Come on, man. Can I hit it real quick, y'all? Can I press the button real quick? Where it at? Appreciate you, dog, but I'm going to press this button because I'm hyped now.
You know they can't with you.
You know they can't
with you. Run, hit, talk. Yes, sir. Run, hit, talk. Yeah, right. It ain't nothing else to be said. Run, hit, and talk. Yeah.
Texas Live, bro. I swear if they let us. I might be late. I'm going to just be honest with y'all. The post-game show is probably not going to start right away. Jesse going to be looking for me. I'm going to be somewhere up in PBR or in Troy Aikman's restaurant dip. I might mess around and be at AT&T Stadium running around. But Scott, act like you've been here before. All that. I hate these dudes. He hit the DMX. That got me hyped. Yeah, I'm ready, man. I might not have a voice. Shaq says, Sky, you can't. Hold up. Why can't I, man? He says, Sky, you can't go full Negan. Texas Live not ready for that. Listen, if you could, hey, Shaq, if you could see sometimes the, sometimes it'll be cheerleaders. They'll come over and they'll do the Texas Live cheerleaders. I done scared the mess out of one of them cheerleaders before. The bartender, I done scared her before too. And I said, there's a new bartender now. I told her, I said, you're new. I just want to tell you what's about to go down. Don't be alarmed. I'm okay. I'm fine. Don't call the security. I'm good. That's funny. Don't go full Negan. Sky, stay my guy. Let me get one more. Let me go ahead and finish this out, and then we get to number 3. 214, what up?
Yep.
There we go. What's up, 214?
Hey, what's up? So, I just want to say, man, 28-3. That Dallas defense, man, we should start running reverse for sure. And like, hey, Michael Parsons, he's gonna get like 3 sacks.
Let me match your energy real
I don't know
quick.
what they're gonna do with you.
I can barely hear what you're saying. It sounds like you're calling from Mars. So I just want to match the energy. Can you repeat that?
I'll let you go, man. I can't just. I don't know what's going on here, man. What just happened? Whenever you get back down to Earth, not Earth, call back in, bro. Hang up, call back in. I'll get you on 214. I couldn't understand what you was saying, man. I got you though. Call back in. He said we had a Decepticon calling. Vach is in here. Hold on. What Vach say? Let me go back. Vach says this. Damn, can I find what you said? Man? Where your mama at? Damn, Vach, where'd you go, man? I don't know. I don't know where you went. You might have to repeat it. This is the problem when you do your own thing. Oh, Mom Dukes is in the building. And my mom says some things won't change. She knows firsthand. Oh, there you go. Hey, Sky, check what I just tweeted you. Oh, all right, hold on. I got you. Did you tweet that to me? The DM? All right. Hold on. Hold on. I got to turn it up. Hold on. It's Friday, y'all. Just deal with it. Just deal with it. You know what? I wonder if you thought about the rush hour just because of Cooper Rush. Oh, now I'm loud. All right, let me retweet that. Boy, we be having some fun over there. All right, back to the show. Y'all, wow, man. Y'all, wow. Did you hang up and come back in? Let's see if we got you. 214. Are you back down? Did you land the spaceship? Gotta let you go, man. I tried it. All right, if you want to call in, you can. 351-999-3787. Come on in. Until then, let's get to number 3. This one's cheating a little bit. Just a little bit, because it's not one person. It's not one thing. It's Kellen Moore and Cooper Rush. Yeah. Kellen Moore and Cooper Rush. When I was putting this part together, and I saw this last week, but it didn't really register until this week, till just now, really. Kellen Moore is he in one of the most unique situations maybe ever as an offensive coordinator? And what I mean is, last year we talked about how I don't know how great it is to have a offensive coordinator who was your starting quarterback's backup and took his job and was teammates for 2 years and yada, yada, yada. I thought that was weird, but hey, man, I'm sure it happened before. But Cooper Rush was also his teammate. Yo, this is strange. Cooper Rush, Kellen Moore, and Dak Prescott were all teammates. And I'm not talking about coach teammates. I'm talking about in the meeting rooms, on the field, competition, competing, whatever you want to call it, suiting up. I think we forget that, well, at least the national media forgets, that Cooper Rush has been here for 6 years. He's been in the same offense for 6 years. He played with Kellen Moore. That's just kind of crazy to me. I should have pulled up the picture, but it's kind of crazy to me. But anyway, the reason why they're the X factor to me, and number one, because we're going to run the ball. We're not trying to get into this game of throwing a rock 40 times, right? We're going to run the ball. But it's how we run the ball. I firmly do not believe just running the rock right up the middle, out of shotgun with no creativity, or under center with no creativity, is going to fly in this game. So I'm asking for Kellen Moore to kind of get back to that creative running that we saw from him in week 3 and that we saw against this same Eagles team last year. If you watch, and we talked about this the other day when we broke down the Eagles defense, you can have success against them. I know a lot of people look at the 5 yards per carry as a total, and if you include week 1, yes. If you don't include week 1, the last 3 weeks they're giving up 3.7. But even in those games, if you look at how teams are running against them, you got to do a lot of this inside zone stuff, a lot of this trap encounters, attack the edges, right? If you look at the success a lot of these teams are having, they're attacking the edge, whether it be in shotgun or under center. Use pre-snap motion. Get these guys moving. We talked about yesterday getting these big boys running sideline to sideline. Get them moving. 8 carries this week for Tony Pollard. I'm not feeling that. I'm looking more towards 14. And if you want to go touches, I'm looking more towards about 16 touches. Because for whatever reason, the running backs haven't been used in the passing game. And in regards to Ezekiel Elliott, I don't think he's that guy anymore, but I think you can do some cool things with TP in the passing game. But if you're going to run like this. Post-snap action with your tight ends. Post-snap action with your guards pulling, trapping. I mean, go watch Detroit and the cool things they did up front. And then once you do run well, you hit them with something like this. A little quick screen. I would just like to see a little bit more creativity from Kellen Moore this week, y'all, in the run game department. And honestly, just in general. But I say get back to the creative running because we saw him do some creative things. Just get back to it. And then off of that, it says, let rush eat off of play action. Cooper Rush in play action is where he's most comfortable. He's completing 69% of his passes. 9.4 yards per attempt is his highest in any pass concept. 109 quarterback rating. He has not been docked with a turnover-worthy play in play action just yet. And he hasn't been sacked out of play action. I mean, I don't think that's something you just gloss over a 4-game span. I think that's something that you say, okay, this guy does that well. You're going into an environment where it's going to be crazy. And you want any quarterback to be comfortable, right? You want every quarterback. That's the goal. We want you to be comfortable so you can play your best. But especially if it's your backup quarterback, who, let's just be real, hasn't played in this kind of environment just yet with a game, combined with a game of this magnitude. The link is different. The link when Philly is winning like this on Sunday Night Football is different. And the last thing I want to do is ask my quarterback to do things he's not as good at or comfortable in, and then times that by 2 when it's your backup quarterback. So I want to see kind of the Cowboys get back to this play action game with Cooper Rush because he's been good in it. And then I say hit on your chunk plays. I talk about this a lot. In these kind of tough games, you might have 4 to 6 opportunities to hit on. For the Cowboys, most of the chunk plays have come in play action. When we're not doing play action, that's where things get a little bit weird. Rush's YPA goes down to 6.2. That's 27th in the NFL. He's got 5 or 6 turnover-worthy plays in non-play action format. And when you look at some of the sacks last week against the Rams, if you notice it, I think all of them came out of no play action. And it came in instances where Cooper Rush usually gets the ball out right away. 2.1 seconds, boom, it's out. But whether it be due to the coverage or due to the route concept, he had to hold the ball a little bit longer. And what happens? You get a sack. The pressure gets there, you get a sack. Not saying that's on him. It's just that's just the way it is with this Q. He's not a guy that's going to try to make a lot of plays outside the confines of the play design. So if he's going to wait for something to happen, he's going to wait for something to happen in the pocket unless he's getting immediate pressure from his right side where he sees it and then he's scrambling out to that right side. If you go look at, I want to say 3 of 2 touchdowns and a completion from last week. First touchdown against Cincinnati, he's pressured. It's more of a rollout. I wouldn't want to say pressured. It was a play action rollout. They let a free guy come. He scrambles to his right side. Touchdown. Against the Washington football people, I believe he was pressured from the outside, steps up, scrambles to the right side. Touchdown. And then against the Rams, you saw, I think it was same thing. Pressure. He didn't step up for a touchdown. He stepped up, moved to his right, scrambled, threw it out, first down to CeeDee Lamb. So if he sees it coming from his right side, he'll step up and move. But the clock is a bit different on that backside. So if it's no pressure from the right and he's waiting for a play to develop, he'll sit there. There'll be a sitting duck in there, and that's where pressure can get to it. So you got to hit on these play action chunk plays. And if it's not there right away for Cooper Rush, that'll be interesting to see what they do, how they combat that. I personally think it should come from some of the route concepts. I didn't like the one on the first sack fumble. Didn't seem like anybody was available. Only one person, and that would have been a bit of a tough throw. So I'm not really putting that on him. But Hey, man, that's what happens. That is the lay. Was it lay of the land? That's how you call it? Lay of the land. So those are my 3 X factors going into this game. Real quick, real easy. Donovan Wilson as a spy guy. Jayron Kearse versus Goddard, plus his tackling ability, because these guys can get busy in that second level. And then Kellen Moore and Cooper Rush together as one. They're an X factor, because I think you're going to ask your offense to do a little bit more than they have done lately. Terrence says, take the check down. That's going to be something there as well, man. I thought I got 903. 903. I didn't get you. All right. What's good, 903? How you doing, man?
What's up with it, Steel? What's up with it, everybody? Yeah, I just want to jump up in here. This is Derek Henderson, by the way.
Derek Henderson. You sound like a Hall of Fame football player that ran for 10,000 yards and was trucking everybody.
Man, I'm like Turpin size, bro.
Hey, welcome to the Short People Club.
I know, right? But say, that's been me blowing y'all up in the chat. At 28-3, yeah, man.
Okay.
At first I was saying 28-10 Cowboys win, but then I got to thinking about it and looking at y'all tape y'all been posting and stuff. I don't think they getting past 3. And I think our defense gonna score like twice. The rest on the offense.
Hey, listen, we talked about the levees breaking, bro. Are they not breaking, Cowboys Nation? Is it not breaking? Man. Ever since that Giants game, it's coming. You got multiple turnovers, punt blocks, scoring touchdowns. I think the Cowboys got something like 6 turnovers in the last 3 games. 1, 2, 3. I think we're
gonna get like 2 or 3 interceptions. Yeah. 2 or 3 interceptions, like for sure 3 sacks.
Oh, I definitely think we're getting multiple sacks.
Line ain't ready.
Yeah, I definitely think that, man.
But yeah, man, that's all I had. I just want to get in here. This is my first time being able to get on the phone. I stay in y'all chat, everybody. Hey, you, Ron, Law, Fox, a lot of them boys. I said what's up, and again, shoot, y'all have a good one. Shoot.
Man, appreciate it, dog. Keep supporting. We love the support. We appreciate the support. We ain't nothing without y'all, man. So thank you for real.
Yes, sir.
Them levees broke, huh? We had if y'all want to go check it out on Voxenberg live show yesterday, please go run it back. An all-time troll moment, like a Marvin's Room edition of a troll moment, on a Philly fan that called in talking about, we ain't seen an offensive line like, whatever. Y'all haven't seen a defensive line like the Cowboys. And history has shown time in and time out, if you have that kind of a front, I'm not saying it doesn't matter how good your offensive line is, because you're going to win a few battles. But history has shown time in and time out, it's harder for the offense to overcome that kind of a defense than the opposite effect. We lived it multiple times. 2007, last year, we lived it. Tom Brady lived it twice. Aaron Rodgers keeps on living it. He wish he didn't have to live it against the 49ers. So, yeah, we ain't seen an offensive line, whatever the hell that mean. Y'all ain't seen this. L said, first time caller alert. Gotta love it. See y'all. You ain't got to say too much. Keep the engagement up and this nation will grow. Who's next? Facts. Man, every time I hear somebody say first time calling, but I've been listening for a while, that means a lot, man, because I don't want, sometimes you know how to call. We can get a nice little debate in, and I'm cool with that. But I'm like, dang, did I just scare somebody? Yeah, did they just get scared to call in? But y'all ain't, man. Y'all come in and y'all enjoy it, and I enjoy it, so appreciate y'all. With that said, we're going to take L's comment as our fan focus comment of the morning, brought to you by Boston Scientific. ED can affect your self-esteem and impact your most important relationships. So take a free online assessment that you can share with your doctor. Click the ad in the description. There's a permanent, satisfying solution to treat ED. Visit edcure.org to get the facts and find a urologist who can offer treatment options that work when others do not. Again, edcure.org, sponsored by Boston Scientific.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
Somebody in the chat yesterday was talking about Dan Snyder. And remind y'all, when I'm live, I don't know what's going on in the sports world. After the show, I went and looked. I said, oh, Dan Snyder telling. I ain't know that was happening out there, man. Dan said, I got dirt on you, Jerry. Dan said, you know who you was with. I see y'all in here saying Don Trail is chilling with Dan Snyder right now. Yo, Dan Snyder really on his you know who you was with wave right now. Huh. I'm not going to say that on there. I'm going to hit up. Hey, Vach, I'm going to hit you up after this. Because a part of me, this toxic part of me. Let me just shut up. Let's get back to the lines. Dan, you know who you was with. Oh, I gotta get my guy. I know he's been busy in here lately, but I gotta get him in here. What's good, B Bird? I'm about to start calling you Unc, because you remind me of my uncle, man. But what's good, Unc?
It's good, man. I've been working nights for a month and a half, man. Oof. So I've been out of pocket, but I've been checking out your show. Whenever I get an opportunity to. So it's late. But anyway, how's it been going, man? Everything been going good with you?
Everything has been going good. You know how the season gets busy. Sometimes you get lost in it, and here we are. We already in week 6, man. Crazy.
Oh man! So before I go on, I was going to tell you that we're coming to the Detroit game, so I'm gonna try to stop by and see you before we go to the game, man, like I did last year. So
please do.
Hopefully I'll see you out there, man.
Please do.
Yeah. Hey, so one thing, and I hadn't caught everything, so I might be regurgitating some of the stuff that you said already, but. Has anybody talked about Dak? The injury kind of been a blessing in disguise, because it almost made us form an identity that we probably should have did with Dak here. But I think sometimes, the front office says, hey, we paid this guy $40 million. We're going to throw the ball 45 times. But really, that's not our formula to win. I think that we've gotten back to it with Cooper Rush. And then what that's going to do is get us in a line. Then when Dak comes in, and Dak is going to Dak's going to perform on a higher level than him, and just do, I think, more with this team than what Cooper Rush did. And I think that'll be the thing that takes us over. But that's not just for the front office, the coaching staff to see what it is, but also for Dak to see. He's not learning anything, but just looking back and saying, hey, you know what? Hey, man, look, I just need to go out there and hey, run these plays, man. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're going to run the ball sometimes. We're going to commit ourselves to the run. Make those guys adjust defensively. And now we got some one-on-ones, which is what we do well. Play action pass, one-on-ones, and things of that sort. And it's really just to keep a simple, stupid offense, to be honest with you. And I think that's just the best way to go. So I don't know if we come about this plan without Dak going out. I think we go 40 times throwing the ball again, that route without Dak being there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we had a show earlier this week. Was talking just exactly kind of what you're saying here, man. Dak talked about after the game, saying, I'm trying to find a part in here. I have it pulled up if you're watching on YouTube. Where is it at?
I am.
Okay, I definitely learned a lot about myself, about this team, and this situation. It's going to help me. It's going to help this team. It's going to help us all moving forward. I just want to keep this thing rolling when I get back and take off. I think you're hearing Dak understand, like, oh, I don't have to carry this team. And as my guy Vach said, I just got to help carry the offense a little bit more. And when I say carry the offense, that doesn't mean throw it 45 times, right? Like, I understand that we can get back to the efficient game that we were playing, for 3 years or some change when I first got on board. The problem, or not the problem, B-Bird, my only concern in this entire thing, and that concern is kind of decreasing each week. It's not Dak. Dak is completely selfless. Dak has done this before in regards to, oh man, I just throw the ball 27 to 30 times a game, no problem. It's Kellen. Kellen has never done this before. And if it wasn't for Mike McCarthy, me having the confidence in old Mike McCarthy, old Freaky Mike, as my guy Jesse would say, if it wasn't for the confidence I now have in Mike McCarthy to keep a hold on this team, on this offense, on Kellen, I'd be a little bit nervous. But that nervousness is starting to, decrease each week, because one thing Mike said was, we are a defensive first operation that is mandated by the head coach. And Kellen Moore has done a good job adjusting to that. So Mike he talking his ish. You know what I mean? He's got a hold on this. So I feel confident that we will continue that, because he did say it. Mike came out and said, this is not going to change when Dak gets back. And I'm confident in that because of Mike.
Well, that's great, because I think with Kellen, man, it's, again, law says those convinced against their will of the same opinion still. And I think that's what Kellen still think the best way is to throw. He's being forced to do this, but that's okay. However we get it, right? And that's what we need our head coach to do, is to mandate things. That's what he's supposed to do. Yes. And he's taking his rightful place as a head coach with the power that he needs to wield to get these things done. There's probably some things that he wanted to do last year, but Kellen had a lot of power being here already, so he wasn't able to do that. So I'm just glad it's going in that direction. And when Dak gets back, I just hope it just continues that way. But I was going to ask you a question about the offense that crossed my mind the other day. Mm-hmm. And coming into the year, and even as the offense goes now, but first I wanted to say this one thing. Kellen, Dak is a better quarterback than Cooper Rush. I know some people, the laymen, might think that, well, we're winning, but we're kind of winning in spite of him. He's doing his job. He's managing games, but he's not giving us that thing that's going to take us in the playoffs and push us over the line. Sure. You called some stats that was just outstanding, showing how inept we were offensively. These wins, that's a perfume that covers up a lot of things, and this is when you get to a different level as a fan, where you can look at wins and dissect them in a critical manner, right? To where you can see where we can improve upon it. You've done a great job of that, man. The film work and everything else too. I've been watching that. But the question I was going to ask is,